Hello everyone. We're going to look at professional and academic journals today, and we're going to understand how they're organized. Let's take a look together. So what is a professional or an academic journal? Well, first of all, it's a professional magazine. It's published regularly. That can be once a month, twice a year, once a year, but there's a regular schedule. It has articles that are written by experts in a particular field of study. It can be based on a research or analysis or reports, different things that author or authors did. And these articles are written for experts. In other words, other professionals, other academics, or students in that particular field. So it's important to remember that they're written by experts for experts. So what are the features of an academic article? So when we look at the author, we're thinking about researchers or scholars in that field. Again, the audience, they're other scholars or professionals or students. And what's the purpose? To report original research, experiments, or theories. And sometimes it's to report on policy. For example, a government publication might do that. And footnotes and bibliography must be there if it's original research. But sometimes in government publications, they do not have it. Who publishes it? Well, it can be a professional association, a university, a company, or a government. And what does it look like? It looks serious. It has charts, graphs. Usually it doesn't have any advertising, and if it does, it's very, very limited. And there's usually not much color. So let's think, what's on the cover? Well, first of all, every academic or professional journal has its own style, and we can see here that they're all very different. They have the title, and we can see here the title, here the title, here the title of the journal. The date of the volume publication. Now the volume, each journal puts out a certain number of volumes every year. It could be 2 volumes, 3 volumes. It's part of a series. The publisher, that organization or government agency or company that publishes the journal. And the list of articles is sometimes there, not always. Sometimes it can be here, we can see it's here. Sometimes it's on the back cover, and sometimes it's in the inside cover. So if we look here, we can see 2 examples of front covers. So here we have JCR, which stands for the Journal of Cybertherapy and Rehabilitation. And we can see their internet address here. We can see what's in this issue, what's in this volume, and we have the list of articles. And here we have the name of the journals, Research Quarterly. Quarter means 4, so 4 times a year. For Exercise and Sport, Volume 84. Number 1, that means it's the first volume of the year, March 2013. Here we see the publisher, and here we see some association that it's associated with. But we don't have a list of articles here. You're going to be working with an article from this journal, the Israel Environment Bulletin. And let's take a look what's on this cover. So first, we have the journal title. And second, we have the publisher, the Ministry of Environmental Protection. We can also see here, Israel. The volume and date of publication, volume 36, September 2010. And then we have the main articles. We see 6/24, 12/24, the pages, Going for Green Building, Israel National Biodiversity Plan, Moving Toward Local Sustainability. And here we have the internet address. And let's take a look inside. So we have the contents, in other words, the list of articles that are in the journal. We have the publishing information here. We can look here and see all that information. And we also have a note to the reader that's going to give some information about the theme or the topic of this particular issue. And if we look a little bit closer at the contents, we see the title of the articles, Moving Toward Local Sustainability, and then we have a short explanation or blurb about that article. So the title, the blurb, and of course the page number. But why isn't the author mentioned? We don't see any authors here. Well, in this particular case, it's a government publication. And in government publications, there are also reports written by teams of government employees, and their names are not mentioned. It's a job in the government, and they write articles, but they're usually based on government reports or other academic or professional articles. So if we take an example, Going for Green Building, and here we have the blurb. An ambitious program for promoting green building should give a host of benefits in terms of resource savings, greenhouse gas reductions, and better quality of life. When you read the blurb, this is what you should think of. What's its purpose? What's it trying to do to tell the reader? What information does it give the reader? Well, it's going to be about promoting green building. It should yield, so it's going to have a recommendation. And it's going to be about resource savings, greenhouse gas reductions, and a better quality of life. And here I begin to think, what do I think this article is going to be about? So summing up, when I'm doing research or reading an article, I should always check that it comes from an academic or an authoritative source. I should look at the front cover and the first pages of the journal and be critical even before you start. If it doesn't look like it's a professional journal or an academic journal, then you might want to think twice before you read. So it's your turn to start exploring the world of professional and academic journals.